All right, this seems to be. Oh, what? Hold on, I have literally never done one of these before, so doing that now. There we go.
Oh,
Yes, I do like cabbage. Thank you. So, due to the absence of both Colin and BP, those being the BP being the server host and Colin being the head administrator, this is going to be a pretty short server meeting. In fact,
They
we're not
disappeared.
really. Sorry.
They disappeared. They're
Oh yeah, no.
gone. Just a week away.
Yeah, no. Don't worry. We're adding them back in the next PR. But anyway, this is gonna be a rather short server meeting. We're not really going to be talking about. We're not going to really be talking about too much. It's mostly going to be a question answer session for the community. Uh, First of all, though, I want to congratulate the server on the fact that for the last at least 4 days we've hit server cap on the HiPop server. So congrats on that.
Yeah, I have a graph on that if it's of any usefulness.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say on it. It's just like useless metrics, I guess. Yeah, just it's been really high compared to what we usually hit. It's like a few times it's went above 100, and yeah, nothing like that has ever happened before. I think, except the last few months.
Yep.
And this is combined, by the way. This is both servers. So it's yeah, ridiculously high. I would show like a history, but apparently it's been deleting data for like anything older than 15 days without me even realizing it. So I don't have anything else to show. Yeah, I don't have much to say.
It's at this point that we also hold a minute of silence for the poor hamsters who have been running on their wheel 24 hours a day to power our server for us. Thank you, hamsters. We observe this minute sounds for you, and so I can eat my noodles.
Yeah, like we said, I don't think this meeting is gonna be anything useful. We don't have much to say. It's like
Yeah,
too important people aren't here for it.
yeah. I will say this. Okay. In terms of what's being done on the server currently, we currently have a council of people deciding how much lore do we actually need for the server. I should note before we actually go ahead and implement any lore, there's probably going to be a mass community vote on whatever gets written to see if we want to implement whatever does get written, and also its own question and answer session. Right now, the official lore discussion isn't open to the community, but that's just because I know for a fact that 80% of the server will have opinions and will want their own pieces of lore added, and there is no reasonable way to manage that. See Debug's previous graph about how many people we've got. Uh, Other than that, things continue apace.
I'm adding the legal department. I made good progress, but I accidentally broke the paper.rsi on my test environment. So um legal department just a week away, allegedly, in my opinion.
Please note that this week away is not like contractual obligations. You cannot be sued for this.
Your mic's
And
dying again. You just went into the void. Oh, that
Please
made it
note that
worse.
the. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hold
no,
on.
it's better now. It's fine now.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay. Anyway, what I said was, please note that the week away is not contractually obligated, and you cannot sue us for that. And even if you could sue us for that, you would need to wait for the legal department to be added. So we're fine. Anyway, I guess we can then skip right along to the question answer session. I'm gonna pick somebody at random.
You left like 4 people to choose from, anyways. 5.
Yeah.
Oh no! No, it's increasing.
There we go. Here we go. Alarm, you go first. Alphabetical order.
All right. So when are snail people being added?
Oh, he's doing this. Yeah, just get rid of him.
Last Thursday.
1984 him.
Snail people are getting added on the same PR in which we are changing all floor materials to salt.
Oh,
Vanilla,
making
you're up.
the station out of salt.
Okay, hello everyone. So first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask. And I wanted to ask for some kind of statement regarding this Atmos bug, whether it's going to be fixed. Is it something
Yeah, I want
from...
to fix it. It's not our problem right now.
Okay, I see.
I don't think they even have fixed it. There's still issues about it.
Is it from like a public release or just something from our server?
No, the upstream broke it.
I see. All right, thank you.
Hey, good timing, because I actually also wanted to ask about the Atmos thing, but I wanted to add that I've also been on Wisden a few times, and they have reported that it's not been happening there, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know
do
what
we
they're
know
doing
anything about
different.
that?
They fixed some things we don't have yet, but that'll be done soon, probably.
Because, like, that's, like, still the biggest thing that's bothering me is that, like, every second shift is bad air, so, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fixed eventually. It doesn't happen every round anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, that it's, like, seems fine on Wisden, which is frustrating. But yeah. I hope it gets fixed soon. That's it.
Hello.
Yeah, Alex, if you're speaking, no one can hear you because you're muted. I don't know if you've been saying
I
stuff.
am I am
Legally,
eating noodles.
I am required to remind everyone that we need IPCs and we need to rise against and get IPCs.
Yeah, when you code it. So we don't have. I think there was one open PR about it, and it's gone. So
Yeah, no. Despite debug stone there, no, seriously, it is just a one you coded thing. Somebody's got to actually program IPCs, and debug has like several more interesting and important things to handle right now. If you want to add IPCs, you gotta add IPCs. Remember, it's a GitHub project. You can contribute. In fact, we heavily suggest you do.
it's like a
Next
majority
up.
that's needed is the majority
Oh,
of
you good?
IPCs is already there. It's just like the really unique stuff that they need.
Well, there you go.
I don't remember exactly what they need done, but it's like the basics are there already. You can just like take a lot of stuff on board.
Wait, going next, Adrian, you're next on the list, at least that it gave me, but you were also most recent, so I'm going to skip you for one. Lava hit, go.
Oh, hello there. I kind of want to ask, because there have been mentions of this. Do we have any talks about when we're going to add the Lamia race mode? The Lamia race?
Yeah, when they get done, it's not something we're working on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's okay. That's
Yep.
all I need to answer.
Yeah, that's a project being done by a non-staff member of the community, so it's whenever they get it done. And honestly, if you want to help them out, I do believe that's VM Saldus on that project. Maybe hit them if you have any experience, or if you have any experience, maybe maybe hit them up, but also not all of you hit them up, please. Yeah, and there's VM Solidus talking right there. Let's see, next, Adrian, since I skipped you for one, you go next.
Yeah, never
Oh
mind.
wow! Oh wow! Hello everyone. Hello. I wanted to ask regarding the species since it was mentioned. However, it's not gonna be when it's gonna be here, but it's more regarding the fact is it, because I mean we can't really have 100 species. So I mean, like, what's gonna be the limit technically? 12, 13?
Whenever it breaks.
I mean, that's a fair point if I had to be honest. Otherwise, I just hope everyone's having a good time. I don't have much else to say. I don't even know why I'm an admin at this point. I mean, I didn't even expect it to get here. Goodbye.
You're an admin because I can beat you at poker. Anyway, who's next?
My list, it's Freedom. My list is ordered like when they requested it, I think. I don't know what's different from you.
Okay, Freedom then. Yeah, my list is just kind of ordered semi-randomly, it seems.
Well, hello there.
I think it's
Oh,
ordered in when they requested it.
Well, hi. First of all, I wanted to congratulate you for the recent rise in popularity. You guys definitely deserve it. This is the only server I play actually of this game, and my not really much
God,
more of a
comments, yeah.
question is more of a suggestion as to how lore could be handled, and it's mostly like how SCP handles lore, where everything is canon and non-canon at the same time. I don't know.
That's
Of course.
that's actually my position on the lore as well. And you know what? Because you asked a good question, you're getting added to that council.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Thank
just
you.
remember, just know you have gained slight access, but from this you have also gained some responsibility that you will have to also watch as about a little more than a dozen other lore nerds start talking lore.
You're getting
Okay.
dragged off to the lore
Yeah, I
mines.
think I can handle that. So yeah, and more than that, I would like to ask, when do you think Wisden is going to finally take serious the problem with Atmos? Because it's not like every 2 rounds, it's that every round ends up with bad air or extreme overpressure.
They might
As a
have
matter
fixed
of
it already. I don't know.
as a matter
It
of
seems
fact,
like it's caused by a bunch of weird shit going wrong. I think. I don't even know
yeah,
what exactly it causes. It's like floating point errors. I think
yeah, because
something loses precision somewhere and it all breaks. And I
just
noticed which
freezes.
PR added it. Yeah, it doesn't freeze. It just slows down so much. It seems frozen.
Yeah, because well, one round I was going for Revi, and I was doing everything like completely silent, and I died to an insane amount of overpressure immediately. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of game breaking at this point. But yeah, other than that, thank you for accepting me here, and well, I hope you guys have a good time running this server. It's really good, and I do appreciate the work that you put into it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Next up is Charlie.
Hello, good day. I got 2 questions. Firstly, I want to emphasize as well that I think the Atmos bug it doesn't really feel like it's taken as seriously as it should have been, or should be, really. I agree, it's pretty game-breaking pretty much every round in high pops, and it's not really fixable. That's probably the worst part. I would look into maybe reversing a commit or something that did change it. As far as I'm concerned, it is one commit. I would at least try that. Or we look into updating our fork from Space Wiz. Yeah. So I don't know. I just want to add maybe to be one person of the many that are complaining about this, because I think it is pretty much the
Yeah, we
largest
know
issue
it's
currently.
a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, anyways, on a lighter note, second question. So I heard there's a legal department. This is the first time I've heard something concrete about it. Perhaps you could elaborate a little bit how it is. Where's the line between the legal and security department?
Oh, that's actually my jurisdiction then. So, where the lines are drawn between legal and security, I still need to actually publish a coherent version of the design doc I wrote. Also because my design doc is written in my notebook, so I can't, and I also only write in handwriting, so I can't just post a fucking picture of that. But the basic idea right now is that we want to make it so that security handles the actual security side of things. This means they're the guys who go out with the stun batons, who make the arrests. But where the legal department is, the general structure of the legal department is going to be this. There's going to be a chief justice who is mostly going to be there overseeing, court as a judge or by assigning judges if they have to recuse themselves or just have no time to hold a court case. There's also going to be the role of a clerk. This is kind of their warden equivalent. The clerk's job is actually going to be hanging out in security. And what we're thinking right now is that the clerk may be the person who actually applies charges. So security can walk up to the clerk or the chief justice or maybe even any lawyer and say, this person did this, this, and this. I suggest we charge them with this, but it's the clerk's say. This way, security isn't the person who actually slams the bars on the guy. It's whatever the actual legal department says is the crime that fits. This puts some of the stress off of security, and also gives security more of an investigative role. Not an entirely investigative role, but basically they just have to convince some guy that this person committed some crime, and then that person gets thrown in jail. This also should stop some instances of shitsec. Hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out. I'm a bit worried that when Hypop is on and bunker mode is not on, it can turn messy already, and I'm a bit worried, I suppose, for increased bureaucracy. Or you know what I mean?
The only thing the clerk needs to say in regards to a security saying this person did this and should be charged with this crime, the only thing the clerk needs to say is yes, and then you can throw them in jail.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
what I was thinking with the clerk, well, like the way I'm programming, I guess in quotes, programming all of this is that like so okay, I don't know how to say this. I forgot what I was. So clerk, I currently in what I have coded right now is basically just a notarizer that has a fancy stamp that can approve documents. So I imagine that's how they would handle sentencing. I'm only just now finding out that clerk is supposed to do sentencing.
I told you this.
I forgot.
Well, yeah, no, the clerk.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Leo.
But the way I'm also having it is that, like, if there's any sort of like staff discrepancy in the legal department, like anyone can sort of fill in a slot. Like if there's no clerk, then there could just be like a lawyer nominated to do that, or if someone else can't do sentencing, I don't know.
Yeah, no. If there's no clerk and there's no chief justice, or both are unavailable, it's probably going to be up to a lawyer or the head of security. I'll say this as well. The other reason for the Justice Department existing is so we can have civil trials. Because right now, if somebody steals something from you, the only real thing you can do for that is to complain to security and hope they do something, or to beat the person up. And that's not too good for roleplay right now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I have my worries, but I don't think there's a, let's just say, great solution, a perfect solution without any problems, right? Or at least without testing it. We gotta see how it works.
The perfect solution would probably be converting this server to HRP, making it whitelist only, and then also removing all the players. But yeah.
Would it really be perfect?
No. But anyway, is that all for now? And is there any more questions? Actually, yeah. Do you have any more questions for us?
I do not. Thank you very much for your time, and also congratulations to everybody, really, for the 100 players.
Thank you.
Oh, I had to leave. My bad.
My
Next
only
up is
complaint
Nina.
really is I've like this is the first time I've really heard anything about the entire department. I don't think
There
there's
was
been any.
There's been talks about it in high command, as far as I know. Shoot, I forget who's in charge of mapping. They already know, right? Like they're working on that.
No,
Yeah, no,
Cowboy.
they're working on it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is just the first time I've ever seen anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, I
We
heard. I
we
mean,
me and Velcro Boy were talking about it in high command, and they're cool with it and changing all the maps to uh, uh, accommodate a new department. And people in the community seem to like it, and admins. And I already have a lot of work done on this PR.
The judge looks a bit like Q from Star Trek, which is great. Anyway, next up will be Nina Coco, and I'm named.
Oh, hi. I actually have 2 questions to ask, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the first one, are we planning on downstreaming the new trader roles from Wisden? Because those look pretty neat.
Debug?
when I get to it, the only thing the Terminator role isn't gonna be enabled probably. It just really depends. So I don't really see the value in a role that's specifically made to just kill one person and then kill themselves. It doesn't seem like it fits in a MRP server.
That's fair. Second
But the
question.
thief probably will be.
Okay, second question. If someone did want to contribute, where would you go to do that?
On our
GitHub.
GitHub, it's in the information channel. I think it should be linked there. Yeah, it's the first link.
Okay. And just anyone can make whatever they want and submit it for approval?
I mean, if you know how everything works, yeah, it's you can just via pull request just request anything to be merged in, and then it just depends on if it is accepted or not.
All right, well, that's all the questions I had. Thank you for having me.
And next up is London.
Hello. I have just one question, really, and that question is, it's more of just a general thing of, is there something that can be done about the recent rise of poor roleplay from security recently?
I've suggested whitelist, but I think I will get killed if I whitelist the entire department.
Yeah,
I'll-
I mean, I would rather. I mean, I think my beliefs on the whitelist system are that we should stick to the minimized amount of roles that are locked behind whitelists.
Yeah, I will also say that in terms of security, because we have special rules for security and command. When security and
Yeah, they don't
command
follow
do,
them.
when security and command do screw up, they do get generally harsher punishments in terms of role bans or game bans than any other role. Like I think
Yeah, but I do feel like this should be discussed with admins as well, because I don't really think that's been happening as much as it should.
PS3, yes. If there's misconduct or just straight up ignorance when it comes to SOP or space law, and that's demonstrated by either command or security, the rules do state that they're held to a higher standard. So obviously when you pick these roles, it's like, well, you're basically saying your actions are going to fall in line with some understanding of these things. And if there is none, then yeah, it's totally reasonable that you could hand out like security role bands or command role bands or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that we could, if we are to do this for the people who are problems in these roles, we wouldn't. It would be unnecessary to have a whitelist for it.
And just one more thing. Is there a reason that Prison Guard is not behind security playtime? Because I've seen people joining as Prison Guard and having no idea what to do and ruining the either security or perma or both.
It should be. I don't know why.
Right
It
now, I
should
think
be a security role.
It's not. That's weird.
As I
It
know,
only has an overall playtime limit. That
And,
should probably get fixed. I don't think that's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, that sounds like an issue.
Okay, well that was everything. Just security concerns. That's all.
Alrighty.
It's been like that since they got introduced. Damn, that's
Nobody said anything until now.
that's been since they got added. It's always been like that. That's like, didn't they get taken from Nyano way back then? Yeah, that's some old requirements, and it just has an overall playtime requirement.
I'm clueless. If you want, I can
All right.
come up and explain to some of the people here our new mid-round antagonist, the one that's been on the server for a few days now. Okay.
No, I think that's
I mean-
fine.
See, next up is Nutcracker.
Whoops.
Oh, am I the one speaking now?
Oh, what? Oh, whoops.
Yeah, Quinn's dragging up people before we're going in order.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, I can wait. Let Nutcracker speak first.
Hello. Hope everyone is having a good day. When IPCs were brought up, they said that there was something else. I want to know what that something else is. If that's... Also, I really love the idea of the legal department. It's fantastic so far.
You said IPCs. There's something else.
They're literally just when you code it. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah, there were issues with IPCs because they weren't really balanced. That was kind of
even
the thing.
before the rebase. We literally can't use those versions from before then.
Yeah. So, yeah, as far as IPCs, like, and any implementation for Delta V, it seems to me that it's just going to be like when you fix them, when you get them up to an acceptable spec.
I think it's probably easier to just like make them entirely from scratch instead of trying to fix the old stuff.
I remember. I think I wanted to know. Virology. Is there anyone making it come back?
It is
Yeah,
going to
one
be an
was-
upstream thing.
Yeah, one Wisden does it. So I think they want it back. Just I don't know when.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it for me.
The line of reasoning with virology is that if we are to, Wisden has already expressed the desire to bring it back. If we are to incorporate it in our capacity, that would just be a bunch of wasted effort, because what they would make is likely going to be more
Yeah, we don't
superior to
have,
whatever we
we
make.
don't have the coders to match their amounts. Just like how many contributors we have compared to them, it's just not that many.
Like surgery. If they are doing surgery upstream, it doesn't make sense to do it down here.
Yes.
Okay, I think that was it for me.
All right.
VM, you're up.
All right, thank you. Yep. So this week, actually, we have introduced a new mid-round antagonist to the server. This is one that is not on Wisden. This is entirely of this community's creation. It was a project between me and Danger Revolution. So we have the Listening Outpost. It is a mid-round antagonist, currently whitelisted, but we are looking to make it not whitelisted after we tweak some things about it, get some more testing in. Yep. And now we mentioned there are new mid-round antags from Wisden that we aren't merging because they're just kind of fighting. This is a mid-round antag that is purely there to talk to people, purely an RP antagonist. Now, I will say for a few people who have complained that they cause chaos. Yes, that is the point. They're an antagonist.
That's what Andak do. Yeah, they cause chaos. That's literally why they're there.
If you have problems with the Listening Outpost causing chaos, go kill them. Just go kill them.
Actually, fun fact about that: we had to rate the people of the Space Law Rewrite Committee had to discuss how do we deal with the Listening Outpost, and you've actually caused us to write special operating procedures for station jurisdiction when not on the station itself.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
So
you really need to figure out some way to tweak the FTL distance because it's like way too close to the station.
Yeah, it's
you can just in a salvage shuttle just 2-3 circles and you'll probably hit it if it's there. It's really not that far. You can predict where it FTLs in if you're like metagaming like that.
Yep.
So I should note, the good thing is we're not changing Space Law, we're just changing SOP for this. At least unless somebody in the Space Law Rewrite Committee actually has a different point for me. I haven't gotten too many responses yet from the current draft version. But basically, right now it's been kind of iffy on does the station how much space around the station is still considered the station. And the point I brought up was that the only way to actually enforce space around the station is, enforce an exclusion zone is via the threat of gunfire or destroying a vessel, and that's not too roleplay conducive. So,
I mean, if you have roleplay, they're literally intercepting shit from the station that they really shouldn't.
Yeah, it's literally an espionage outpost.
Oh yeah. But
they're using crew sensors. They shouldn't. They're listening in on comms. Like they're doing a ton of shit they really shouldn't, even if they aren't affiliated with Nanotracing.
Yeah, at the minimum, security should want to arrest them. Like.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Here is the current draft version. Just posted in chat. So basically, what this dictates is that there is no exclusion zone, but crimes committed on the station or that harm the station can be followed up with a raid. So if they do that shit, you can raid their station. But there's a neat little thing at the end here. You have to contact them and offer them the chance to go to court first. And if there's no way to contact them, you can continue with the raid. If they no-show or decline, you can go ahead with the raid.
Awesome. I love this.
I really think there should still be a way. I'm gonna work on something like they'll intercept every fax message with scrambled, but I think there should be a way for them to actually open their fax machine to be detected by other fax machines without being emagged. So they can actually if that happens, they can actually talk to the station and reveal themselves, I guess.
I mean, I think actually, might it not be as simple as just having a second fax machine on the outpost that's viewable, that's just unwrenched, so they can wrench it down when they want to actually communicate? It sounds a bit silly.
Has a chance to bug in and just appear. That's like networking shit goes.
Yeah.
It's much better to just have a toggle in this emagged fax machines that lets them toggle advertising on or off. It's literally one value in their component that decides if it's visible or not. So
yeah, we could actually change that in the map files. Yeah.
Just a button to toggle it.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's always on, you can. If you see the random ass error in the fax machine, you know salvage is just gonna fly around looking for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have me and Danger spend this week actually looking into a solution for the distance, because having it currently spawns less than 200 meters from the station, and the asteroid is enormous. It's kind of hard to miss.
Force it to automatically FTL when it's fully initialized. Because if you call the FTL stuff manually, you can specify distance and all of that stuff.
Really?
I
Okay.
believe so. Yeah, they it's like a system you can access for FTL.
Okay,
It should take parameters like distance, and you can just like throw a robust random in there.
Yeah, okay. If you have any examples, like, or where I can find this in the GitHub, if you send me a DM, I can definitely look into this and get the system running for it. I appreciate
I can
that.
look
Thank
for it
you.
later.
Yep.
Oh, I want to note one thing as well for the SOP change I did post. There is one part in here that is omitted because I forgot to write down, which is it's basically the clause that says if you shoot an RPG at the station from space, that still counts as a crime, for obvious reasons. In fact, that was the specific example I cited for do crimes committed at the station via remote count as crimes committed on the station. And also, and there's a secondary implication with this, specifically with that last clause about the court thing. You mentioned Salvage finding the listening post. By technicality, if Salvage finds the listening post, and trespasses or tries to steal from it, the listening post can hold court against Salvage on their own station.
That's hilarious. Nice.
It is, and I want to see it happen one day. I want to see the listening post charge the crew with a crime and hold court.
Amazing. Based. Please do make this happen. I know y'all are crazy enough, but I want to see like the rounds where it happens.
Oh no, that's fair, Emma. Salvage can't just kill them all, but kill them all. However, if anyone outside of this, if anyone snitches on Salvage, that could possibly lead to what's called a Code Delta.
Got my coffee.
All right. Well, I think I am done here with the talking about the outpost. Thank you. Y'all have fun. Please do get into some funny situations and tell me about them. Enjoy.
All right. Anything to add before I bring the next person on? All right. Vanilla, you're up. Or sorry, Vanilla.
Yeah, it's both fine. Thank you once again for voice. I have just two thoughts. As a very recent player, I started playing just with Space Station 13, so Delta was my first playground to also learn the game. I agree with opinion that nowadays security detective, especially, which is completely missing his point entirely, in my opinion, has to deal with a lot of cheaters and minor crimes. But I don't really understand how the law department can actually help with that. Because currently, at least from my experience, see lawyers as this kind of addition barrier between security and prisoners. Because when they don't have anything to do, they will look for any kind of crimes. They will report security itself. They will try to make some kind of additional use, some kind of I don't know, additional meeting with captain about that something is missing, etc. So I'm not really sure how do you envision synergy between security and law, and at the same time how you envision the law department itself helping with cheaters and minor crimes.
So the thing with the law department in this case is that the law department will probably be helping with civil cases, like say just personal theft via the arbitration court thing we have, and that's probably not going to carry any. Those types of cases probably aren't going to carry any jail time. They might carry like a fine or like a thing like, okay, you've got to do this for this person or this to this person, or you'll breach some sort of contract or whatever. But mostly what the problem. Actually, hold on. You actually raised some good points there. I kind of wonder if maybe detectives should be part of the legal department or not, but I'm not too sure on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could give I don't know. I'd have to think about it more, but if we were to integrate detectives into the legal department, I could give them lawyer access. I don't know about that. What I'm thinking with the law department is like there'd be the stuff that lawyers regularly do, which currently right now all lawyer does is criminal law. which would be like hanging around security and making sure they don't like abuse prisoners or they're doing sentencing correctly. But then the addition of the legal department and the associated changes to space law would give the legal department more to do, like civil law, interdepartment conflict, notarizing documents. So the addition of a legal department isn't gonna just have like 3 more lawyers in security breathing down your neck. They're gonna be spread around, I hope.
And if I may ask to further create this kind of questions, because when we ask questions, we can also like imagine better things and whole pipeline for future features. Let's say it that way. So what kind of civil punishment you imagine? Like penalty in form of pesos, because currently they are useless for crew itself. Only cargo uses them.
One of the things I can envision is that maybe a lawyer maybe in this case after civil trial like that has gone through, that maybe a lawyer can charge somebody with a crime, and since they're the person who charged it, security doesn't need to prove anything. They can just slap the cuffs on and go. What else?
I remember that sometimes HOP can demote like civil personnel, but of course it's used by security itself without trial or anything. Trial.
Yeah, because I don't know what the things the lawyer is supposed to do is basically, as we said earlier, there's no real way to. There is a kind of a way to intermediate interdepartmental conflict and stuff, which is usually to have assign a mediator, but people. Oh yes, actually, Emma raised it and brings up another point. One of the other changes is that security is going to require the lawyer or the clerk or the chief justice to issue a warrant.
Yeah.
So if security wants to trespass into a document, a say so from the lawyer, not just the HOS this time, but from a lawyer, from anyone from the legal department, is going to be enough to do a raid on a department if need be. You don't need to bother the HOS for that type of stuff anymore.
That's a cool idea. I saw a couple of rounds where Warden had to pick the hammer and just break the whole department because there was like the assumption that EPI is full of revolutionaries, and we just broke into the department without any particular warrant or anything. Captain was SSD, so just
right
security thing, I guess.
One thing I do want to say, I really think you're spending way too much time on the legal department. Like, there's still 5 other people with their hands up.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to make this meeting about the legal department. Like, just put a thing in when you coded if you really want to keep going.
Right. I'll just say this. Finally, about the legal. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say that. We're probably going to move on now, unless there's something you feel we should urgently answer.
Actually, there's just one small question regarding, I believe, what Nina said. Is there any way to perhaps better organize contributors? Because I know it's silly to compare between like Wisdom, etc. But I believe like this kind of meetings that they sometimes host is a good opportunity for just new people, just like me, to, for example, learn how I can better contribute without like just getting into the GitHub right away, because I know if I would do that, I would just cause a lot of mess, and I would like to just follow, perhaps ask some questions, share my thoughts, and so on.
That meetings are only between maintainers. They don't do anything with contributors that I'm aware of.
All right.
You can just ask anything and contribute to help. There's like a bunch of nerds there that'll help you with GitHub stuff.
Okay.
Contribution help. Sorry, I was wrong.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it from me.
All right. Next up is Vaticat.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I'm going to ignore my legal questions because we're skipping that. So I've not been here super long, only a couple of months, but on the issue of having worse security overall recently, I guess I was wondering a suggestion if you could think about just raising like playtime requirements. It's been forever since I get in, so I don't even remember if there's like a playtime requirement for security cadets. But I have heard talk thrown around of like, Borgs used to be an issue, and raising playtime requirement kind of negated most of that issue. So instead of
Yeah, the
just
thing with
whitelisting all of security.
we've done it before where you raise times. It like helps for like a month or so. Then people get more playtime and they're right back at it.
Yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
not a long-term solution.
Okay. The other question I had mentioned right at the beginning, you talked about lore committee. I mean, I don't want to dive into the lore, but overall, the stuff that you guys are looking at, is it like whole universe stuff? Like, are you thinking about like TerraGov and that kind of thing? Because that's stuff that I'm sort of interested in thinking about general, or is it just like specifically, I don't know, whatever Nanotrends is doing in this sector? Like, kind of what's your overall focus there?
It's mostly that latter. It's mostly that latter point you made. We're trying to work out the dynamics, and we're trying to work out how much lore do we actually even want in this game. We're mostly doing this just to fix some issues. Just to fix some issues with people being with some issues with roleplay inconsistencies. For example, right now the current consensus among almost everybody is that the syndicate are a terrorist organization, and some people do play them and some people do play them a bit differently. And honestly, I'm all for that, but we do need some things which need to be said. And okay, here's an example. We had somebody who role played who went into the game and thought that the syndicate and central command like each other or are not enemies. That's what I mean by dynamics. We want to make sure that that type of thing doesn't actually happen. Or if it does happen, it's because somebody has a pretty damn good idea in their head.
Okay. Yeah, that's just standardizing local stuff. Okay, that was all I was curious about.
Yeah, it's also because sometimes we have it's sometimes because security gets really friendly with syndicate, although this is less of a lore problem. And it's often just security is just trying to get gear to power game, which has been not a frequent issue, but it's happened maybe 3 times in the last month.
And don't forget people just putting on a bunch of openly syndicate stuff and running around with it. And there's nothing anyone can do about it because you wrote space law around not being able to prevent that.
Yeah, right now, no, space law is written like that because I couldn't really come up with it. There's no real good way to be able to be allowed to just take somebody's clothing, say. Like, unless it's an
Yeah,
actual danger to somebody, there's not too much of a good way I can do that without also giving security a pretty big thumbs up to remove things for no reason.
Honestly, the easiest way would be probably making anything with syndicate markings on it controlled. But that's not my problem to figure out.
Yeah, it's a huge precedence issue. It's a huge precedence issue because you can snowball that into a lot of other things, even during in round. So I want to avoid that until we can actually come up with good wording. And I've seen a few people play well with the whole wearing syndicate drip thing.
Yeah, but it's like 1 in a million.
It is 1 in a million. It is
99%
pretty
of the
rare.
people that do it really just do it because, oh, what are you gonna do? You can't arrest me.
Yeah, I will say this though. How should this? The people who have misread space law or who have misread space law and gone ahead to strip the syndicate of their items have been very abrasive about it, which is something I also don't like. Of let's see. So right. I will say this. Stripping people of their syndicate clothing per rules, as long as it's role played, is fine. If you are playing as a security officer who doesn't like the syndicate and knows what they are doing is probably going to be illegal or above their station, you can do that as long as you're okay with dealing with the in-character repercussions if, say, the head of security gets on you or if somebody sues you. This would fall under things like our minor crimes thing. You will probably, if the head of security gives you a hard time, or if a lawyer starts a lawsuit or a lawyer starts a court over that, you will probably lose your security job for that round, and that's fine.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm just wondering. So I know somewhere out there, I've read it before. There's like a sort of a general lore wiki, I think, for all of Space Station.
That's
But
just Space Station 13, but we don't. They have a ton of stuff in there, but like speciesism and stuff. That's just not really that
Yeah.
cool to have.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're
So
talking about Common Core stuff. The TG
I
Station wrote it for 13.
yeah, I think that might have been it. But so I guess it's it's a community effort then, I guess, but it's a consensus for stuff like if you wanna roleplay discuss stuff that's like far outside of Nanotrends, and is it just kind of like do it reasonably and play along?
Yeah, it's the Common Core is the best out there right now.
Okay.
Until we can come up with something that's like we can point to.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't really count it as canon for this server. It's like some more of a suggestion.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about as well, because there is some stuff on there that I've never seen referenced anywhere on here. But all right. Well, that was all. Just lore questions. Thank you.
All right, cheers. Let's see who's next. Next up is Alarmed. Again, actually.
I swear to God, if he talks about snails, I'm just kicking him off.
Alarmed has yet to accept their invite.
Okay, sorry. I'm in round. Okay. So current
calming.
Yeah. So this is serious this time. Regarding like the law thing, it's kind of how I play my detective. I kind of play him as like more law focused and less combat and sec focused. And it's kind of like what you guys were saying. So I think detective, I don't know if it is, should probably be like on the law team maybe, because yeah, they have a gun, but they're more focused on like figuring out crimes and not like arresting people. And
Yeah.
often during like court cases, I'll prosecute for like security if I'm the detective, since detective is able to like get all the evidence and find out all the shit for sec. Yeah, sorry.
That is that those are all good decisions, and we'll probably have to come up with some sort of consensus for it. But
Yeah.
seeing as this was literally like brought up about 30 minutes ago, that's going to be trying to say anything concrete about that's going to be rushing it by quite a big margin.
Yeah.
And of course, if detective is part of the law department, they will have sec radio. In fact, the justice department is probably all going to have security radio still. There's likely not going to be a separate justice department radio. Maybe. I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all.
Do you have anything else? Okay.
Nope. Snail people. That's it.
Next up is Courier.
Hi, hello. I've got one serious question regarding HiPop. This is actually regarding maps and the whole player cap thing. Are there any plans to have additional maps be accepted, or additional events happen on the second server? Sorry for the TTS, I can't speak right now.
Oh, no need to apologize for the GTS. As for the new maps thing, I think that's more your call debug.
I don't do maps. That's Velcro. He's not here.
Right.
I don't think.
I also
I mean, like, should there be more maps for higher pop?
So I mean, I don't. As far as new maps, like I mean, we can have new maps. Like if you want to map something, if we can have new maps. I don't know about it being specific to certain servers that we have. I mean, obviously, if you have two servers and one of them is consistently like getting to high pop, you might only see the higher pop maps on that one server. But yeah,
Yeah, right now it's just between Tortuga and Arena.
yeah, yeah. Velcro.
I think there's like 3
There
maps
isn't
to work
exactly much
on.
variety, so I wanted to ask on that.
Yeah.
I think there was like a submarine station. I think Moira was working on one. Probably. I think there was another one. I don't remember everything that's being done, but I think there's maps being made. And you could probably also like fix some of the old maps.
What about the second server events? Will those ever be a thing?
Yeah, when admins do it. It's like it happens sometimes. It's not common. It's mostly only announced to Patreons, I think.
Yeah. So for the second server, there are admins have laxer rules on on how they run events on that second server.
Yeah, they just don't use
So
that right.
yeah, it's just up until recently that second server has generally been very quiet. Like mostly, like during most of the day, it's been empty. But
I mean,
that's no longer the case now.
Yeah, well, you don't have a choice. You can either not play Delta or you can be in an empty server. They'll go for the empty server.
Yeah. So mostly it's just going to be a case of getting the admins right. And I'll also admit, we haven't been running too many we haven't been running too many events recently. Or at least not the really big ones.
Not
There's
good events.
just
It's like bad events in my opinion, but that's not my thing to comment on.
yeah, no, that's fair. I'll admit part of the reason as well is the fact that there's quite a lot broken with the game right now. And with the increase in players, admins have to spend more time just being admins. Like there
Yeah, the only
has,
thing
as
for that
far
would be,
as
That's all for me, I think, though I can understand all that with the admin stuff.
yeah,
really the
I'll
only
s-
fix for admins
Also,
being too.
again, congrats
thank you.
on the hype up. I
The
leave
only thing we
now.
can really, yeah, but the only thing we can do about admins being too overwhelmed is cut the maximum population. But I really don't think that's a good idea, which I've expressed before in private.
Yeah,
'Cause if
we.
it's just gonna encourage people to yeah, it's like kind of a thing with keeping up player counts. If we decrease the amount of maximum people, they'll go to other servers, which isn't a problem. Like we don't want all of the players per se. I don't know how to word it properly, but yeah, if we cut the population, there's a higher chance they'll go to different servers than they go to the low pop server. So we're just back where we started, but with less people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say when I start saying something. I'm sorry, but there I go again. Never mind. I'll shut up.
Honestly, there was something I was going to say as well, but I have just it's gone now. Next up is Freedom.
Hey there again. So currently the server has 107, counting the low pop server on. And I wanted to ask, is there a plan to revise or rebalance the damage and the HP that zombies have? Because there are points where, well, zombies can be quite tanky. Like,
What I'll say, it just I don't know if I mean, like, when it comes to HP, I think that we need to hold our horses a bit because
Mhm.
surgery is it's I'm not gonna say the line, but it's coming soon, and it's
Coming soon.
that's going to have an impact on health and the like. Um, so I'm hesitant to touch stuff like that because I know like everyone wants
More work.
surgery, and that's gonna surgery is going to have with it a reworking of damage and health and the like. So
Mm.
that's basically just what I'll advise if we are to consider any changes to stuff like that.
Right. as for security concerns and all of that, there's this kind of thought. Is there a possibility of like there being a separate set of antags of like corrupt SecOps? Just
When you code it.
when you code it, of course, but
Yeah, it's
would
like
that be something acceptable?
I guess it's with proper discussion, and if it's done properly, I really don't see why that wouldn't be accepted. 'Cause right
Yeah,
now,
the-
the security can't be antags at all. They can't be syndicate because, well, I mean, if they got 20 TC, it'd be kind of ridiculous. But if
Yeah.
they got like something unique that didn't tie them in with the syndicate, it was like just their own shit with, like that wouldn't encourage them to work together with syndicates. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I just whenever someone says, "Hey, can I be a corrupt officer?" Like just in any other context, I just kind of like, no, you
So
can't.
yeah, in that point of like lore stuff, um, some people see like the Syndicate and Nanotranscend and the Nuclear Operative as like instead of like Nanotranscend as like the main group and then the Syndicate and the Nuclear Operative as like terrorist organizations. There's also the possibility of interpreting it in the way of like they are two different rival companies and they just attack each other all of the time.
Nanotrace is like a big corporation, and the Syndicate is just a group of companies that got fucked over by Nanotrace and stuff. Technically, by
right.
how I'm doing it. Nucops or Gorlex Marauders or something, they're part of the Syndicate. Like, the Syndicate in itself isn't an organization. It's just a group of organizations in how it's currently done.
Right. Um, and yeah, as I think that's it. I think that's all of my questions answered. The main complaint that I had was that well, zombies kind of get a little tanky to the point of 3 shotguns to the
Yeah,
face.
I totally agree. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind seeing them just get the big fucking nerf. I don't like zombies as a game mode at all. I'll
Yeah.
just make it
I mean,
clear. I fucking hate them.
it's funny that in between the rounds, everyone like, or well, mostly I am the one that starts chanting zombie round, even though I fucking hate it. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun concept. Zombies in space. It's well,
Yeah, they're a fun concept, but it's a balance for LRP, not for
it's
MRP. So it's
yeah. So many people like get the role and just go to a place where they know that they can cheese strat everything and turn there, like med, for example, instead of like
I
role
honestly,
playing as in your character starts feeling sick and then goes to medical. They don't know what is going on and all of
yeah,
that.
for
I've
initial
tried to do
infected.
that, but then it just goes all to shit because some other dude arrives, turns, kills everyone.
I think they should like get instead of just round start, they get told like, "Hey, you're gonna fucking turn soon." They should just like get at some
Yeah.
random point in the round. They just should get told like, "Hey, you're gonna die. You're gonna be a zombie."
Yeah,
So,
like
like they don't have
text
time to
prompts
prepare.
that say, for example, you're feeling dizzy. Your heart rate starts to increase and all of that.
Yeah, just some random shit. But like, if they know from the round start, it's yeah, they can just like go to a highly populated area and just like immediately fuck over half the station.
Yeah. For the chat that it's asking when zombie rounds usually start, they usually start 2 minutes into the game, which is not a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, they start way too fast. If you're initial infected and you die, you turn instantly. If mid round zombies happen, it's
Sometimes it happens late.
someone
Yeah,
drank
but
too
those
much
are
juice from the
survival.
Orbital, or
Yeah.
they don't appear mid round generally. It's you can get mid round zombies, but it's not.
That is for survival games where
Yeah, it doesn't just happen.
yeah, in survival games it can be nukes, it can be anything really. So yeah, thank you guys again, and well, once again, wanted to congratulate you for the popularity. and actually tell you that this server is the one that introduced me to Space Station 14 in general. I didn't play Station 13 because it's, to be honest, the gameplay is quite dated and it's kind of hard to keep up to.
Honestly, it's considering the engine they're working on is really old. It's impressive how much they do.
It's impressive, yeah, but
The creator of Beyond even has gone out to state that they're surprised it even built. It was never intended for the shit some of the stations.
kind
pull
of
out.
like it's kind of like the original engine for SAP Containment Bridge, which is a like 20-year-old engine. But yeah, thank you guys for everything you do. You have a wonderful server, and it's very fun playing it. Pretty much every day, I put some hours into it. So yeah.
Thanks
So
a
yeah.
lot. All right. Next up is Adrian again.
Hello, I'm back, but this time with 3 questions actually.
That's one
First-
already.
And that okay, fair enough.
I'm just joking.
Okay, so the first question: are there any plans with revolutionaries? Are there any planned changes, that type of stuff?
I think it recently got changed to at Hypop they'll have 2 head revolutionaries.
Yep.
Was that merged? I didn't
Yes.
keep it. Oh yeah. Well, that's I don't really know what else. I think Alex at some point had a bunch of shit they wanted to change about it, like just wacky stuff with like books and optional stuff. I don't really pay attention to that. I don't care what happens with it. If it's done properly, it's nice.
Being the horrible dev I am, I posted a picture from my notebook of that design doc too. And the idea there was to make it so that revolutionaries are much more roleplay oriented. It was a whole rework. There's just one issue, and that's the fact that even though I know how to program, I still don't know how to program in Space Station 13. I also don't know how to Git because I've never done collaborative programming on anything. If somebody wants to take my idea and implement it, I honestly wouldn't be too peeved about that. You can go ahead. I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that I might just end up being the idea guy because of how little time I actually have to do stuff on this game in some cases.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be the idea guy, but I'm the one who PR stuff.
Kind of hilarious considering you once actually told me I don't know what computers are. Anyway, but I'm actually not going to go into the rework I posted. I'll maybe try to find the actual picture I posted. But I won't spend too much time in the meeting on it.
Yeah, I do think they should be changed though, because like right now, they get like a bunch of people, they beat up command, a bunch of people die, they complain in dead chats, and next round nothing happened. Then it just
Yeah.
happens again with the next revolutionaries. It's really not that fun. I've seen the rounds, just they get a bunch of people converted, they beat up commands, either they get beat up or they beat up commands, and it's not fun. It just becomes self-antagging without breaking the rules.
All right, so I suppose the next question about the legal department: will the lawyer become part of it?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's gonna be 3 lawyers in the department.
3 lawyers, isn't that a bit too much?
Well, because you have a prosecutor, a defense, and then someone who can handle anything outside of court if there's court happening at the moment.
Oh, so
We have like 100 billion people on the server, so there's always going to be someone who needs a lawyer.
So you
I'm
mean
biased.
so like the entire department will be 3 people? You mean? Did I understand that?
No, so there's going to be a command
Oh,
role,
God.
a new command role, the Chief Justice. Then there's the clerk, which is like the warden equivalent that we talked about earlier, and then 3 lawyers.
There's still 4 other hands up, by the way. Just want to point it out.
Yep.
We should really talk
That's
about this another time.
mean, that's all I needed to hear, really. Another question. It's actually regarding the maintainer. Is that how you say it? Probably. Are like, what is the general like use of a maintainer? Like, should I like think about it? Should I like think about it if I don't know much of being a coder? Like how to say it? Is it a good idea to become a maintainer just to learn code?
No. Definitely
If
not.
I wanted to become a maintainer, like for example, you wanted a maintainer, what should I expect to be doing?
Well, I don't really think we need many more right now, because the only thing they really do right now is review code. I already got Colin for that. I forced him to do all of the YAML stuff.
Code, huh?
Yeah, YAML.
I
It's like
I don't know if I'd call it YAML code. As a matter of fact, I avoid calling it code.
I mean, by technicality, it is code, I believe. Who cares, anyways?
YAML's like a fun big file.
It's funny words, and when I show people YAML and how they can contribute, they're like, I don't know, I'm not really good at coding, and I'm just like, well, I can't code, and I still fucking do this shit.
I mean, if you really want to contribute, then at your own pace. I mean, I try my best personally. I don't know much, but I still try to help sometimes. I'm not sure if I'm contributing much, but I'm trying, I guess.
You're contributing a lot.
We don't have many contributors, so like anything helps.
I mean, that's a fair point. Honestly, I don't have much else questions. I would just want to thank Colin, Alex, and honestly everyone that actually contributes, just like makes this server beautiful. Like just thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You all are great people. I genuinely, this is the only place where I actually felt accepted. Yeah, I'm not gonna dig it, I guess.
I'd hug you, but I mean, I'm over here and you're over there.
I mean, thank you. Nonetheless, have a great one. That's all.
Okay. Wow, that was
All
nice.
right. Next is Vanilla again.
Hello.
Again?
Yes, I really love to ask questions, as you can probably notice. So I have two very short ones. So first, regarding the dynamics, which you mentioned, that you think that there should be like this clear distinction between Tantcom and Cindy's, how much they hate each other, obviously, or maybe rather Nanotransen. I wanted to ask, what do you think about rounds where, for example, head of revolutionaries try to be really friendly and make the whole RP around, I don't know, for example, having a bar and having friends, let's say, this is not revolution, etc. Yeah, that's the one point. And the second, also connected with this, there's like Cindy's who are immediately surrendering lone ops or nukies in teams. They're like immediately after, I don't know, killing one person, after being surrounded, they're surrendering. Is it lore
Immediately
accepted?
surrendering is bannable. That's if you just like spawn in and go like, oh, I don't want to be syndicate, and you just immediately surrender. That can get you banned. You're not supposed to do that. If you don't want to play syndicate, just uncheck the box.
That does remind me, Debug. As far as doing role bans and checking the box for antagonists, like banning people from antags, is that functional?
When you code it.
So it's not functional.
No, it's
Okay. All right.
I believe the way it works. Right now, role banning is hard coded to use a job prefix. It's really weird. It has a prefix for job. Antag bans are in there, but they don't resolve to valid job prototypes. So it just fails to apply the ban and just breaks. And there's nothing in place to even handle bans for antags in the first place. So even if it would work, and would save as a ban, it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. So for anyone, because of the simple fact that we can't ban people from being antag, we just ban you from the server. Like if we're gonna do if it's a situation where we would just like ban you from being an antag, like, oh well, you can't, yeah, so we can't do that. So we just ban people. Like we'll ban you for like a day, or like it depends on the severity of whatever you did and if you have precedence of doing it. But yeah, we just ban people from the server if they do not follow the rules as far as antagonists.
So
And like for the first point on revolutionaries, as far as I'm aware, they're not affiliated at all with the syndicate.
Yes,
I don't think anything in game mentions anything about the syndicate. So as far as I'm aware, they're just fair, different.
Yeah. Honestly, I've said this in private as well, but if you want to use revolutionaries as just a token to do a department strike, you've got, at least personally, my go ahead on that. Revolutionaries are kind of
definitely.
free form in what they can do.
If you want to do Cargonia, just why not?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it does mention the
yeah,
syndicate.
basically.
That's
So
I think that should be removed, in my opinion.
They sponsored you with a flash, so they so you're not really with the syndicate, but they've sponsored you with equipment to get your job done.
I guess
Yeah.
it should like maybe be changed to like Cybersen or something, or like one of the companies in the syndicate instead of just outright everyone.
You
I mean,
could
I
do
don't think
that,
we should
but,
even.
yeah.
I don't think we should even mention anybody. I don't think we should even mention that anyone gave you the flash. I
Yeah,
think
but then
we should
like
just
then comes the question of how did you even get the flash?
let people let the head revolutionary say how they got it.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
like let the head rev say I got it from the syndicate. I got it from Cybersun. I got it from my great grandpa. I got it from the Men in Black. Whatever.
The Men in Black. Yeah,
Men
that's
in
fun.
Green.
Right. Okay. Thank you for all the answers. And the second question is regarding like the game modes. Are you planning to tweak a little bit like this percentages when it comes to chances? Because right now it's very common that rounds are, for example, sandbox. Not much is happening. Just regular
Sandbox
spider
doesn't
fight.
happen
Sorry?
naturally. It's I think you're talking about survival. That's a
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
Sandbox
Sandbox
just
is
disables
totally
spawning checks.
Yeah, of course. I mean about the most generic one, so survival.
Survival.
Yeah. And usually people like love to shitpost that there is like new keys, there is during survival self untag. Do you plan to change a little bit this ratio to allow people to be more used to, I guess, game modes in particular?
The thing is, none of the game modes currently are balanced enough for MRP, in my opinion, that it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Nukis, they just go with the singular goal of destroying RP. They blow up the station, there's no RP to be had. You can like do war ops, but ultimately their goal is to blow shit up. Syndicates, I guess, they could be tweaked to be a bit more common. But still, people like to just do shit they're not supposed to. Zombies are, they suck. I've already expressed my opinion. I hate them. And I don't remember what the last one. Oh yeah, revolutionaries. I really think they should get a rewrite first before being made more common.
And honestly, if any of y'all want to go, that's the earlier one that I think the rewrite I made, get in contact.
Yeah, your mic's dying again.
Yeah,
Oh.
you run that by us again.
Testing, is that any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cheers. If anyone wants to help me implement my version, and I say by help I mean I shout at you and you write code, then go ahead and contact me. I do not have the time to code. I work a full-time job and overtime right now.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding me back from really doing anything as well. I like only have one true free day, so that's why updates have been a bit slow nowadays. I'm just way too busy with all of work stuff.
Right. Okay, understood, of course. Thank you once again for the whole work and contribution. That's it from me. No more questions, I swear.
Thank you. And also, Nautilus, to answer your question, no, I said overtime. I work about 44 hours a week.
You know, I kind of
Anyway.
just realized something as far as the head rev thing. If he's given a special flash from the syndicate or fucking I don't know anybody, why does that mean that any flash that he prints or doesn't maybe he doesn't even print it, maybe he just gets it from like a sec off or something. Why does that one work then?
Don't question it.
I just thought it just came to me. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense.
They're just built different.
Get real.
All right, next is Mike.
Huh? Oh. Right. I feel like at the moment at least, I just have one thing. There's a big like discrepancy over what is considered a sophont and what you legally can shoot on sight as security or just leave alive until later.
Right.
I'm
So,
assuming it's about Red Kings.
What?
So, yeah. Oh. Sorry, Deba, could you say that again?
I'm assuming it's Red Kings. That's like
Yeah.
the main thing I think that causes problems with the entire sophont definition.
Yeah. So, with Rat Kings specifically, yes, by technicality, Rat Kings are sophonts. Security shouldn't be shooting them on sight unless the Rat King is obviously immediately hostile. I will note there are different ways you can actually deal with Rat Kings and just shooting them on sight. The Rat King servants are not considered sophonts because they're just because they're single-minded. They don't speak. They don't show any obvious awareness or intelligence. So you can still shoot those.
They're just funny little guys.
I thought you were gonna say that you can shoot them because they're the little rat and they don't make the rules.
Yeah, fair enough. That too. But as well as that, by technicality, because sophonts must follow space law, this means the Rat King is also would also be punishable with would also be punishable by would also be punished for certain crimes. This means if the Rat King trespasses, you could legally have a right to defend yourself. And so if you're the chef, you can just put a shit ton of mouse traps on every one of your doorways. If the Rat King walks into it, the Rat King did it, and they committed a crime while doing it. So it was nobody's fault except for the Rat Kings, and the Rat King's dead.
All right. And then the other thing I was also going to say is I've been doing this big push about pirates, but the problem is I think space pirates, at least as a concept at the moment, are sort of have quite a few flaws that prevent them from really being interesting.
What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Pirates?
Yeah.
They got added and never finished. That's really where they at. They got implemented like as a funny gimmick, and just it never got worked on again. That's why they don't exist.
Yeah.
I believe the game modes, if it's forced, I'm like 95% certain it'll run. As
It does. Even if you
Yeah,
have a
it's not-
single person, it'll run.
Yeah, I know most game modes are like that, but I mean, more like it'll probably run a complete round without causing major issues, but I don't think there's any balance for it. I don't think it's ever got worked on besides haha funny pirates.
Because I've taken a look at the code, and at the moment, it's really just pirates spawn. They have a counter of how much they can steal. Their top 5 most valuable steals, and then just their ship minus the initial value gets counted at the end of the match. And I've just been wondering, like, what can I do to make that, what do I need to do at least to make pirates actually finished? Like, I've tried DMing the original code. I don't know what the word is. The original coder for it. But it's been a process
honestly-
trying to figure things out.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. I haven't looked at it in ages, so I really didn't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of it is just straight up unfinished. Just a lot that needs to be done.
I could probably look at it sometime if you remind me, but for now, I really don't have an answer for that.
That's all right. That's pretty much it though. I did want to say one last thing about we talked earlier about the Terminator, and I'd just like to point out they are kind of overtuned at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, they you can't kill them with anything except heat and which was it? Heat and
Shock.
shock. Yeah, shock. Heat and shock. That's the only thing that'll kill them. It's like really unfun to play against.
Yeah, I was hitting them with a fire axe, and I was like, "This is doing nothing."
Yeah, you can't kill them with anything except lasers and tasers. I think. I don't know what else. Yeah, shock drills. I think.
They're just kind
use
of
lasers.
really
You have to use
overtuned.
lasers to build them.
Just use lasers.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
we
gonna
can
add them
reduce
even
their
with boost
health.
That,
But the
yeah, no,
problem
that-
is just the
their
damage.
tankiness isn't a problem. I don't really care how tanky they are. That's unrelated to the issue. I think you send them in. They have the express goal of killing one person. They'll probably get that person to fully round remove them, throw them out into space, eat their brain. I don't know, and then all they have to do is kill themselves. That's
Terminators
the
can't eat
entire
or drink.
anti-hack. Yeah, I just toss the brain out into space. Same thing, but I mean, it's gonna end up with two people being removed from the round. Just a bunch
Until
of
he
chaos.
gets the next ghost roll.
Yeah, but like people are gonna go after that. They see a Terminator, they're gonna immediately go
They'll be
after
like,
it.
yes,
It,
now's my
it doesn't
chance.
fit with our MRP stuff. There's really no way to make it work.
Yeah. You can let the next person speak now. Thank you.
Where's John Connor?
Yeah, I
All
said
right.
short meeting in the beginning. It's like been an hour and a half now.
Yep. I say we call this off when it hits the next hour mark. Next up is John Connor. Sorry, I mean that a cat.
Back again. Just quick things on revolutionaries. One, I think removing the line about the syndicate would be a good idea, but also, I don't know how it is for everyone, but my observation has been that the biggest problem for revolutionaries and why it kind of always just descends into just beating each other up is that most of the time, as soon as security finds out, even if it's like totally peaceful, they just insta arrest and usually capital punishment for the head rev. There's generally no attempt at RP made with security. It just seems like being a revolutionary is a head crime, or a capital crime, and then they just remove them instantly.
Yeah, I really think that should be brought up with Space Law Committee. As I
Yeah.
don't.
No,
it's
that has
ridiculous.
been brought up with the Space Hawk Committee. People have gotten bans over that. You're not supposed to be field executing head revolutionaries. I've only ever okayed it on 2 occasions. Well, I've only ever okayed it on 1 occasion and given a pass for it on 1 occasion. There was one occasion where the head revolutionary had gotten cuffed by the detective, and the captain and the HOS both. Oh yes, no. The captain does have general discretion to call for an execution. I should note the captain here is the obvious exception, but only if security hasn't arrested them. But what happened was that the detective in this case had managed to arrest the head revolutionary, and both the captain and the HOS called for the execution. The detective said no, but then the head rev called for help from one of the revolutionaries, and the revolutionary in question charged the detective with a shiv, and the detective shot the head rev in the head as a form of indirect self-defense, which I found hilarious. And I said, that is a clear and present, immediate danger. I'm allowing that. It's weird. It's a weird way for self-defense, but that counts. The second case.
I mean, I would kind of count it as metagaming because I'm not really sure how much you're supposed to know in character. As like, you kill the head ref, every revolutionary gets deconverted. I'm not really sure how that's.
Yeah.
The second point
really
in the
pushing it.
detectives. The second point in the detective's favor was the revolutionary was also using the head rev as a meat shield, so they would have had to shoot through the head rev anyway, which was still kind of funny. But yeah, no, that is a bit metagaming. That is a bit metagaming. But then again, this was a case. Then again, this was like this person charged me with a knife situation. I wouldn't using I would have excused metagaming either way because it just like it was a right there, right then issue.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to a lack of consensus also on whether or not in character you're supposed to know that killing the head rev deconverts everyone.
I'll say this: even if you know the kill in the head rev deconverts everybody, and if we say as an admin team that the security will know that, they shouldn't be executing the head
Yes,
rev.
they shouldn't.
They just really shouldn't.
It just
You have
makes it no fun.
Yeah, you have to abide by space law. You have to hold a trial. You have to hold a trial for head rev. If the head rev gets so violent that they get killed in a gunfight, that's fine. You still got to hold a trial for them, though. You still got to hold trial for them, though. If actually no, do the captain's dispensation. Even if the head of security says DNR and a head revolutionary that died in a gunfight, I don't think that can actually take effect. You've got to res them and you got to bring them back and you got to trial them until they try to escape.
As far as I'm aware, if you revive them via cloning, they lose the ability to even convert anyone.
Oh, there you go.
So I think it's attached to components on the body. If you, I mean, you can probably even gip them and put them in a Borg. As long as they lose their original body, they lose the ability to convert anyone. They lose head rev status.
Right, but also don't turn them into Borgs, please. Don't turn them into Borgs without trial either.
I mean, I've seen Nookies get turned into Borgs. It's like really funny.
It is a bit funny, yeah.
But yeah, it should be done with trials. That's that should be obvious, I think.
Yeah.
But still,
I had one other question also about antags and a lack of consensus for zombies, which is something that I've seen this discussion thrown around, and I don't know if there's an official answer anywhere. Is there an official stance on whether they're like a syndicate operative or just an operative who knows that they're infected and their intention is to subvert the station, or are they just someone who is sick? Like, is there?
I think it's like a case of the random main of the second character hiding the zombie bite from everyone. I don't
True,
really
could be
think
that.
there's anything written about it.
Yeah,
No.
it just seems unclear.
I can
so-
check the welcome message, but I don't really think there's anything about it.
Okay, I mean because it will change how people role play, and I think also that kind of comes into effect on how much people, not necessarily metagame, but how much people get into like, I'm gonna lock someone in a room with me so I can convert and kill them. Tends to be the people who are more like, I'm an operative sent to do this, versus I think the slightly more interesting RP is from people who play it more like they're just sick or they're hiding a zombie bite.
Yeah, there's nothing about it. It is just you are an initial affected, get supplies, prepare, and take over the station.
Okay, that
there's
sounds
nothing
more
about
like
how you got affected at
intentional,
all.
but yeah.
Yeah. It's probably just up to the initial and affected's interpretation as to what they want to do.
Okay.
I still think it should be changed to like not be round start because it's
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
too easy to just power
Yeah.
game the shit out of that.
I think the survival rounds where it comes up mid-round tend to be slightly more interesting. So if you made regular zombie
I don't
rounds
even know
more
how
like
that happens. I think it's like the Oracle just happens to generate zombie juice and
Oh.
people drink it.
No,
I
I've
believe
had
that's how it
It's an
happens.
event.
I've
It's an
had
event.
I've had an hour into a game, I just get a sudden pop up. You are initial infected.
Yep. It's
Which
an event.
Why is that an event? It's kind of.
it seems
I didn't even know about it.
It seems like a better way to run a regular zombie round because you're not even metagaming around it for a whole hour. You're just doing whatever, and then you figure it out.
Yeah, I've
Oh, yeah,
I've
it totally
lowered
is.
the I've lowered the chance of it happening because it used to be that like the mid-round antagonists were extremely frequent. The premise of a survival round being a chill round wasn't really there because you had ninjas, lone ops, space dragons, you had zombies on top of it. It's like you had these ridiculous rounds.
Yeah,
so,
it used to be able to start at 50 minutes into the round, and it had the same weight as lone up spawning.
Yeah, I don't
So
remember
I'm-
how exactly I changed it. I think I made it come out later in the round.
Yeah, you halved the weight, so it's 2.5, which I believe is currently the lowest weight for any event we have. And the earlier start was set to an hour and a half, so it doesn't really happen at the critical part.
Yeah, that was one of many changes to mid-round and tag events that I made.
Alright, well, yeah, those are just my questions, stuff about head revs, and then I guess it's sort of up to the initial infected if they want to be intentional or just accidental, but that was all. Thank you.
Mhm.
Uh,
We could get rid of the zombie mode as far as it being a round start thing. It's only 3%. So I mean, it's
I
there,
mean,
but
I wouldn't mind seeing it gone per se, but yeah, I do expect people to complain about it if you remove it. I'll just say you have my permission to remove it, but I'm not gonna deal with the shit that causes.
I mean, I made a. I mean, you saw the PR that I made as far as changing like the secret weights and everything, but I'm willing to look at that again and maybe. I think
I mean, as
just
long as it doesn't make any other events more common than survival, that's all I really care about.
Mm. Yeah,
I know people don't like survival, but survival isn't really how do I say this? All the other events aren't balanced around MRP or all the other
I
game
mean,
modes.
Trader, I would say that Trader can.
Raider, yeah, but it's really right now with how our players are and the lack of ability to ban people from the traitor rule specifically. It's not there yet.
Well,
We
I mean,
ideally
yeah.
need the ability to ban people from traders before we increase the weights even more.
Trader tends to be sort of whatever. Well, I mean, the reason I made that PR was because people were complaining in general, and I mean, well, I said it then when I was making the PR. I was like, all right, guys, don't worry, I'll make a PR that changes some of these secret weights, and you won't need to worry about it until you get upset at the weights again, and then you can at me like maybe in a week or something when it suddenly becomes this needs to change. Like I think the act of setting up the secret weights in a way that no one will complain about it is a task that can never be accomplished.
Impossible.
Yeah. So I'm not too attached. I mean, well, you know me. I'm not really attached to the secret weights being changed in a particular way. I don't think you're gonna find that ideal mix. I mean, even when it's 40% survival modes, you still got people saying it's too high. You shouldn't be able to have 5 rounds in a row that are survival. It's like whatever. But I mean, yeah, that's all I really have to say about the secret weights for the game modes.
All right, if that's everything, then I'll bring in the next person. It is Nosford again.
What do you mean again? I haven't. This is
Oh,
my first
my
time
mistake.
today. What do you mean
Sorry,
again?
sorry, I mistook you for somebody previously. Who was it?
Hi, Gunther. Anyways, about Submarine Station, that is my project. I've got that on hold for until I have time to do it. Also, Phil, what's your plans for Glimmer Beasts? I know you're working on like a chicken and a something else, like a bug.
Was it Glimmermite?
Yeah.
Oh god, I almost fell asleep. Yeah, I submitted the PR for Glimmer Knight. So that should hopefully end up in the game soon. And I'm kind of waiting for that to get approved before I do anything else that's reliant on the code added there.
Yeah, I mean, I already told you need to look at the prototype for the might itself. That's one of the
Really?
pending changes still.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought I resolved that.
No, I mean I'm talking about the fact that it's using a bunch of stuff that could probably be taken from mice.
From
Because I feel like there's a bunch of stuff defined in there that's just really redundant to maybe its own base entity instead of inheriting from something similar like a mice. Because like, as far as I understand it, it's just supposed to be a mice that looks different and makes glimmer, so really no reason it shouldn't be able to just do mice stuff.
I mean,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just most of it I got from the cockroach.
I mean, yeah, in that case you could just inherit from cockroach too, if it's supposed to be that. As long as like you're defining a bunch of stuff in the prototype, which if they ever change anything, it'll cause issues, and we have to change the prototype for the mite as well. Whereas if you just inherit from cockroaches, if we change it, it'll automatically do all of that stuff. I'm
I
sure
guess I'll
Colin
take
can
a
help
look
you
at
with
it.
that. Or like someone else.
I didn't realize that is what it was waiting on. I thought you were just focusing on like other PRs.
I can probably
I
diff it sometime and just like submit an edit with like the entire file.
I'll take
Just
a
like
look at it. I didn't realize it was pending still.
Yeah, it's literally just one prototype that needs to be looked at.
Dang. Yeah, I'll look at it. Sorry, but yeah, once that's in the game and working, then I'm gonna work on the other creatures, and I'm just kind of gonna make more weird ones as I go on. I guess. The end.
Also, because I remember hearing about the law department a long, long time ago. How long exactly do you think until we can see it?
When it's done.
Great.
I mean, I mentioned it a long time ago, but I didn't start working on it until like last week.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The biggest changes, well, other than the sprite ones, of course, is that there's going to have to be a whole discussion within the space law rewrite committee on how this will affect space law and the standard operating procedure itself. It probably won't affect company policy, but who knows about that? What else? Also, I want to apologize when I said again. I misremembered you as Wolford.
Yeah, how dare you?
No, I just recently gained the ability. I just recently got home and was able to actually participate. I was on a very long drive home.
Right. Anyway, you'll be happy to know that I am actually just about to ban Wolford for identity theft, so don't worry about that.
Awesome. I had something else. What was it? I forgot. I'll raise my hand again if I remember.
All right. Next up is Nina Coco.
Hi again.
Hello.
So my question is, you're adding this new law department with all of these new jobs that are going to take place, and it sounds like 2 to 4 new jobs.
Right now it's looking. Well, the two jobs we know that will definitely be in there are the chief justice and the clerk. The rest is mostly just going to be a restationing of the lawyer, and I guess as we discussed in this meeting, maybe the detective.
Okay. I was just wondering if you were planning on like cutting any jobs from any other department to make the space for those 2 additional jobs, or like what's your ideal ratio of passenger to crew?
Oh, I got no clue on that one. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think the ideal ratio is
There's none. Passengers
there's
really
not.
shouldn't exist. They're like really
I
just
think
an overflow job.
they are technically overflow. I think they should exist just because some people do good roleplay as just some guy who's hanging around. But that's it. I think it's probably
Yeah,
like
but
if
I
they're
mean, in a perfect world, every job there would be just enough jobs for everyone to be in a department.
In a perfect world.
But yeah, we can't have that. So passengers still exist. People roleplay as them. They do it well.
I mean,
Like
I'm playing
obviously we
as a
shouldn't remove
passenger
them at
right
all.
now.
Oh no, they're
uh
coming.
yeah. As for making space for cutting any jobs, as we're not envisioning cutting any jobs, there was brief discussion on maybe, and I mean maybe, cutting the warden, but that's incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, I really wouldn't, to be honest.
Yeah. That was basically under the question of what's the security split in terms of handling handling perma. Like should the handling of perma become a justice department thing rather than a
I mean,
security thing? And
in my opinion, that doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Like, I
no,
mean,
it
lawyers
was
in real life, they don't manage the prisons, so
yeah,
it wouldn't make much
exactly.
sense.
I'll also say this. I think there's a bit of an unsaid question, or at least I can imagine some people saying this. Are we going to remove the HOP for this? No, probably not. The HOP still has a
HOP
place in the station.
They
Somebody
don't
has
do
to take
anything.
care.
They
Sorry?
got like all the unique stuff just taken away when ID card consoles got made the way they are now. They lost everything
Yeah,
they did before.
that's kind of true, but somebody still needs to lead the service department, and that probably shouldn't be the captain. It's either that, or we make service completely communal, which it will bring its own special types of hell. When Grey Tiders get access to both the bar and the kitchen and botany. I mean, I kind of want to see it happen, but maps already have communal areas for that type of stuff, so I think we can leave that as is. And honestly, I don't think there's a problem with having a command officer whose role is just to kind of be there as overflow. Eh, people who want quiet rounds like to play hop, and I don't want to take that away from them either. Yeah, we'll see what Deanna's saying. We can't remove hop. She would blow up the station.
Yeah, it's just Edge, so we don't care. You'd
Dang, you're
have to
right.
at least go for a bigger station if you wanna make a difference.
But yeah, no,
well,
we're not. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
no, that was my question. Thank you.
All right. See, next up is Freedom again.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. My UI glitched for a second. I remembered a question that I completely forgot the last time. In the thing of Sophons and how rules apply as to like decorporealization and manslaughter. Sometimes when I've been medical, I've seen CMOs and paramedics biofuel, like biomass crew members on the manifest that are SSD, dead and, well, soul gone.
They're not supposed to.
They are
No,
not supposed to. I've told this a million times that, hey, this is a crime. And
Yeah,
they
it's
say,
literally
no,
a
they are
crime.
SSD. They are practically gone forever. And it's like, they are still crewmates.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
because they're in a coma, that'd be like if we just people in coma in real life, we just start taking their organs just because someone else needs them. It doesn't make sense. It's illegal. It's yeah, just help it and they'll get in trouble.
The correct
Well, it's not
response
like
to
he's
this
gonna
is
use this liver.
the correct response to this is if medical says no, this is perfectly fine. What you should do is go up to whatever medical professional said that, inject them with chloral hydrate, say they're in a coma, and chuck them into the biomasser.
Nice.
No, don't.
Eat their brain.
Don't actually do that.
I will
Don't
take that
actually
as
do that.
I will
Actually
take that
do
as
that
genuine.
and say that Alex
Sue them.
told you to do it.
Yeah,
Write a
exactly.
mean
I
message
will
to Central
do
Command.
that.
Just sue them.
Well, Alex said.
Well, Alex said in this podcast. No.
Oh, my B. Carry on. I will tell you to carry on.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, if you have people just
understandable. Have a
randomly
good day. Oh my god. So, yeah. It's pretty much something that always generates a discussion because it's like, no, you can't do this. It's a
There shouldn't be
crime.
a discussion. It's literally illegal in space law. We've had a discussion
They
before.
always say,
You're not supposed to.
no, it's not. They are gone, and it's like, no, it's not.
Just beat them up. Just put them in the biomasser.
So
Yeah.
there's actually a bit of a connection with this with a security issue as well, which is people being arrested for being members of the syndicate, which is, as space law says, is not a space law doesn't say being a member of the syndicate is a crime, so it's it's not. You shouldn't be arresting people just for being members of the syndicate, and I think where both of these cases are coming from, where people biomassing SSD people and people arresting the syndicate members for just being members of the syndicate without committing any other crime, it's mostly new people. You've got to give them a bit of space. They have to spend some time. Remember, they have to learn that Lilton Head generally only covers Wisden, and his advice should not be taken directly to MRP.
I mean, this is more of a Wisden issue in general. Wisden, if you go SSD, they'll biomass you, no hesitation.
Yeah.
Oh
That's more
god.
of a
yeah, no.
culture thing.
Yeah,
You
no.
you casually go to your
keep
bed,
close-
take a nap, and then someone naps you and fucking puts you on a meat grinder. Oh god.
If you close your game for 5 minutes, you come back and you're just a block in the cloner.
I am small.
So yeah, there's a bit of a cultural shift, especially because Delta V is like one of only 3 or we're one of the few MRP servers that there are in the English speaking community.
If you want to go MRP that's popular, we're the only one. You have
Yeah,
Park
because-
Station as well. It's they don't have many players, but like I've played there. It's fun. If
Yeah,
Delta
I've
V is
looked
full, you should
for
definitely consider
some-
playing there. And Frontier is an entirely different genre. You can't compare it with Delta at all.
Yeah.
That's the only ones I
Any
can think of.
other thing that I've looked for as MRP English speaking, it's like either empty or just like, I don't know, gone. And other MRP servers are like Russian. That's it. Another thing is, when is there going to be a revision on the space laws? Because, well, there are things
just
that
had
could be
one.
considered a crime. Because, for example, head revs and the difficulty of bringing them to jail over something. Because, as far as I know, brainwashing IRL is a crime, though, right?
Yeah,
It is.
Alex, I think you should drag this guy into the space law committee thing.
Yeah, hold on. You're that's happening right now.
Oh my!
You already dragged him into law.
You-
He's getting into law as well.
Yeah. You're unfortunately you're being drafted due to a suspicion of extreme competence.
Oh no! I don't want to be put in.
There you
no,
go.
responsibilities.
I don't want to have
Welcome to the committee.
responsibilities.
Anyway,
I mean, just throw your ideas there. It doesn't matter if you contribute anything. It's just the only place that will actually matter for anything that gets changed to space law.
I don't want to be drafted. No.
I'll say this: the act of using the flash against somebody is almost certainly assault. The act of brainwashing is also probably assault, or maybe even a form of decorporeal. A good lawyer could probably argue to that point.
Yeah, if someone walked up to you in real life and they just held a flashbang in your eyes, I'd be pretty.
And you
pissed too. I
suddenly
don't think it's
cannot
legal.
do anything but obey this person. It's like, wow.
Yep. As for the difficulty of actually bringing head revolutionaries in, I assumed at first you meant just the difficulty of bringing them through without having to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Luckily, security now has access to things like tear gas and stinger grenades that they should really be making use of.
Did we even
Seriously.
merge those already? Are they? I
no,
don't
they're
even
in.
remember. Oh,
No, those have been in for a bit.
Oh god, what is
Really?
that?
your mic has gone into the meat grinder.
Hold on.
Your microphone got assaulted by a
It-
beetle. Like
It went
Is that better?
SSD for a moment. He got put in the meat grinder.
mic jumps.
Sorry, sorry. I keep dropping my mic into the air fryer. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. We have stingers now. We have tear gas. That's been in the game for a while. Security making a lot more common use of it. They're incredibly good for crowd control.
They're
And
so good. They leave you blinded for like hours.
yeah. Well, not actual hours, but yeah, no. Just
No.
use those
It
if you need
feels like hours.
crowd. It used to be that the only way to handle riots was actually with with actual lethal firearms, but now that is no longer the case. Security has even less of an
Thank
excuse.
Stingers are lethal. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the fact that sec belts now come with a single tear gas grenade. Assuming a half decently staffed security, that's 5 grenades, and they got more in the dispensers. It shouldn't be too difficult to just chain the tear gas to get the head rev all the way back to security.
Mm-hmm. And well, other than that, on the like whole thing of adding a law for brainwashing, I think there are some laws that are kind of hard to spot as. For example, like obstruction of justice. It's well pretty much self-explanatory, but for some reason it includes like escaping from custody and resisting arrest, which are two completely different charges.
On that might actually be a bit of an oversight or the result of us having to come with a decision on something like that because we wanted resisting arrest to be on there somewhere. Actually, no. Obstruction of justice would probably be specifically helping somebody else resist their arrest. Like, say, if security's cuff somebody and you go in and uncuff that person, that'd probably be obstruction of justice.
Mm-hmm.
Resisting arrest, we were kind of stuck on whether that should be a modifier or its own crime. And then I raised the specter of if it's its own crime, security can if it's its own crime, security can arrest you just for that without having actual good charges placed on you. And I don't know how we actually ended up, or if we actually ended up resolving that issue. I'll take a second look at that. But now that you have been drafted, you can also take a look at it with us and point out anything in the
The
relevant
mod
channel.
thing came to me straight from Home Depot. Like, you've been drafted. Anyways, so yeah, and when it comes to like resisting arrest, it can be with or without violence, and it with those two simple modifiers, it can pretty much extend a lot the time. Because
Yeah.
also, kind of half joking here, can we make a kill on sight on any fucking clown that starts fucking with sec every
You
time
had
they
me at kill on
start?
sight clown.
Yeah, please, because holy fuck, the amount of times that this son
If you
of
join as clown, being a clown should be a crime.
yeah, honestly, like at some points, some people take being a clown as a legal way to troll, which is annoying.
They bomb the hops off and it's got the city with
Franklin,
the goof.
anyways,
I should also note if you want to get rid of a clan that's being annoying to sec, remember the HOP can just fire them. The
Oh,
clan does have a
nice.
boss, and as far as I know, every head of personnel has a personnel never get asked to fire a clown, but I know from at least 3 different occasions that they are very trigger happy for that type of thing.
Yeah, because you never assumed that the HOP would be in charge of such fucking weirdos. I don't know, like
Does the HOP also get trolled like half the time by clowns?
HOP really be doing like fucking laps around the whole fucking place because he gets called everywhere. So yeah, it's also kind
Anyways,
of hard to get in contact with them.
We've hit the 2 hour mark already. We should consider moving
I'm
on.
good. Yeah, I'm gonna say then that do you have anything else for us, Freedom First?
Nothing else. Just that, well, the space law area requires, well, more uh, more details, basically, and especially
Right.
to separate um, the different types of, for example, misdemeanor offenses into, well, their correspondent things.
Right. Well, you can bring that up in the space law channel, and honestly, we might move resisting arrest to a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With that, hold on. I'm gonna move to the audience. I'm going to say that. Oh, go ahead.
But Nosford up first. He had the question still that he couldn't remember.
Oh, all right. I was actually going to say though. I think these last 5 people. These are the last people going to answer questions from. Nosford, you'll go
Yeah, that's,
first.
I agree on that.
All right, I just want to say, Freedom, you took one of my points. Thank you very
Kill 'em.
much. Also, can we add an IA agent to the law department to take care of corruption in head of command?
That should be
And
done via central command.
That's
that's the thing. There's never central command to do that.
No, so the Chief Justice, there's going to be special dispensations for the legal department, as said, to handle departmental conflicts. This includes a provision that if the Chief Justice calls a command officer to court, that officer must appear. That's a hard. They have to come to court.
Like they can be arrested.
Yes, yes. If the Chief Justice says that, if the Chief Justice says this person must appear at court, they must appear to court. Otherwise, they can be charged with contempt of court, and with that, I believe space law says that they can be found immediately guilty and they can be stripped of rank.
All right. Next point. Tesla. Will that be merged?
Maybe.
All right.
If you don't, I don't know if I don't even know if I get a veto, but I'm going to say we probably shouldn't. I've seen the gameplay on that. It looks terrifying, and it looks like a singularity that has even less control that cannot be turned on and that
Yeah,
cannot
if
be
it's
turned
if
off.
it gets out,
Have you
yeah, you're
seen
fucked.
the weapon to kill them?
Yeah, I mean, like Lilton had even said it. You're not gonna kill Tesla.
Yeah.
There's no way. You're not gonna do it. If it gets out, you're fucked. Call the shadow. It's probably gonna be too late by the time it even gets there.
Mm-hmm. If
It's
I
it's
remember
you.
correctly, the first thing that it loosed in, it was a complete shit show and no one made it out alive.
Literally just if you have the Tesla, it's free power. If someone fucks with it, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in MRP.
But then
It doesn't even fit
again,
in LRP.
compared to Wisden, we have a hell of a lot less Singulus sabotagers.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't even have to be a sabotage. Even if you just don't set it up properly, it can like blow up one of the emitters and it gets out on its own.
Yeah, as
It's
Gunther said, I almost
really
never
no.
see sabotaged.
Singulus can't break out on its own. You have to specifically do something to sabotage it. The
That's what
Tesla,
the
you
grounding
have to get lucky. It can just break out on its own. So I don't really
That's
think it has any
no.
place here.
I guess
Alright.
that's fair. But then again, that is what the grounding rods are for. You put them near the containment pylons, and that prevents them from shocking the emitters.
Honestly, the only thing I'd like to see about the Tesla thing is
No arrow.
right now I believe probers at high glimmer they'll randomly just fire out bolts of electricity. It'd be nice if grounding watts you could use your grounding watts to stop that.
I don't think that actually happens anymore.
Oh no, it does. The it doesn't often get that high to even happen, but if it gets really high, you can still get the lightning from the probers.
Oh, yeah, no, Glimmer never makes it up to 900.
Yeah, you have to be really incompetent to get that high.
I've only ever seen it happen once, and it was with captain approval, although it wasn't actually, they didn't think I meant 1,000, and that resulted in a temporary roll ban. That was a while ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think I applied that ban.
I'm pretty sure that was.
No, I mean if it was a captain that of research director, I forgot, Mr. Gog, that purposefully put Glimmer at 1,000. Yeah, I applied that ban,
I don't know.
or at least approved it.
You probably approved it because it was applied by Luxure. Anyways,
Maybe
last
it happened twice. Who knows?
maybe. Head revolutionary. Is being a head revolutionary considered illegal?
I believe so.
All right. Because personally, it's sometimes different things happen. I believe
mean-
it should be illegal, but I'm not sure
just
if
being a
there's
head
any
ref alone
laws
isn't a
that
crime.
break just by existing.
The crime isn't existing. It's like you have to assault people with
It's
flashes to even.
the act of
Yeah,
treason, ain't it?
even then, that's just assault.
I mean,
you can't
technically,
charge for you
I
can't
think really
charge
this should be
for
answered by Alex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. The question, just to make sure I heard it right, is about head revolutionaries and the whole mind control thing.
No,
Yeah,
it's
just-
the question was: is being a head ref illegal?
Oh, no.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I
So
Being a
thought.
head rev isn't illegal. Doing the things a head rev does is illegal.
exactly. So if you hide the fact that you're trying to take over the station, they technically have no in-character reason to arrest you unless you assault people with flashes.
Yes. In fact, you can take this one step further. If you gain consent from every person you flash before flashing them, you technically have
arrest
not committed a crime. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
and
treason a
again-
crime?
Well, that depends on what the head rev's goals in this case are. Remember what I said about the whole department strike thing? If the head rev is doing this to do a Cargonia, it's definitely still a crime, but they might be able to argue. They might actually have a chance at arguing it in court.
So, like, you
It's literally
can't
just a
just get
union.
charged for sedition for assaulting someone with a flash, right?
Yeah, no, you can't be charged for sedition. They have to actually prove that you are trying to secede.
All right, cool. Sierra, there's a cool lawyer thing for you to do with head revolutionaries.
And Sierra, actually specifically, mind control would probably fall under the act of decorporealization, which is to unlawfully, maliciously, and permanently strip a Sylphant's mind from their body. At
This
least
is not permanent. You shoot
Honestly,
the head
we
ref and it's over.
should just make brainwashing itself
hmm.
illegal.
That's
Unwilling.
that's also true, but also this would definitely still fit under kidnapping.
Yeah.
It would fit under kidnapping. It might fit under terrorism. It'll definitely fit under assault. Oh, and oh wow! Actually, we can probably fit mind breaking into this if we just change because mind breaking as a word works, but not as the way the law is written. So that's a thing to point out later.
Anyways,
Also,
also 4 more people. We should move on.
Yeah,
I hate to like rush stuff, but like it's been 2 hours and
I have one last really
yeah.
quick question. Are there any roles that get picked as head revolutionary more often?
No.
Okay, because I
It's
see
random.
chaplains as head rev really often.
I believe it's random. I mean I can check right now, but I don't think there's anything that influences your odds of being a head ref.
Alright.
I might be mistaken. I haven't looked at it in ages, but
Honestly, I feel like chaplain probably should get a bonus. Anyways, that's my
no, I disagree. That's putting them in a reason for being a ref.
All right, let's see. Up next is Nautilus.
That's how you say it. All right. This will be fast. This will be short. Time requirements. What will be required under or over the new legal department?
We have no clue. Probably
All
it's
right.
probably going to be lawyer related. It's probably going to be lawyer related stuff. This is off the top of my head. Let's see. You're gonna need time in lawyer for the clerk, and for the clerk you're almost definitely going to need time in security because the clerk is going to need to know how security works. And the chief justice is probably going to require clerk time.
All right. I was just simply asking because I'm a captain main, and I just want to make sure that I can still, like.
Oh,
I don't need like to grind like 3 days worth of Chief Justice just to be able to pet Renault again.
I mean, you may have to do that.
All right.
I just checked. It's unrelated to your thing. I just checked. There doesn't seem to be anything that influences your odds of being a head revolutionary. So it's just pure RNG.
Also, the clown remarks kind of hurt because I love clowns. Anyway, that'll be it for me. Y'all have a great day.
All right. I also wanted to just inform you that it is okay to have bad opinions about clowns. Next.
Like,
Hey,
just a quick question. Has it ever been, it's probably been brought up before, but has anyone ever thought about making it so engineers can build foam grenades around the place so if fire breaks out, they automatically trigger?
Oh boy.
When you
That
code
would.
it.
Do you
Yeah,
mean
when you code it.
And
foam
with an issue.
poppers? Like automated foam poppers like in RimWorld?
Yep.
That really should be done by Wiston, I think.
Yeah,
And
that,
like
that
fire,
sounds like a
we
cool
don't.
upstream thing to do.
Yeah,
Like
the thing is, we
everybody
don't
could
have fire. We don't have fire. The only fire we have is Atmos gases, and those aren't affected by foam.
Yep. I'll also say this: it doesn't make too much sense. There's already a good method of handling fires in space, which is simply to remove all the oxygen. So it'd probably just make more sense to do to make it an ammo
Yeah,
solution.
until Atmos breaks.
Yeah.
Like if
That's
I
fair,
remember
yeah.
correctly, well, Wiston changed how fast something spaces, so it still does damage. Like if before you punched a hole in the wall, all the air's just gone. But right now it's like a gradual leak.
Yeah, that's how it worked before everything broke. But it was also kind of broken in that case. There would be
Everything breaking is really just the fault of how them changing how Atmos reactions work, I believe. That's
Atmos
unrelated.
is
I'll look at it eventually.
yeah. All right, is that it?
The only other thing was with Perma. The other question I was going to ask was with Perma. Has anyone ever thought about being able to tag the prisoners and having non-lethal turrets outside the door?
We are.
They
I
map
don't think
turrets
we're.
on the station. No,
We are probably
definitely not.
never mapping. Yeah, we're probably never
Turrets.
mapping turrets.
The thing with turrets is the targeting is really basic currently. Either they shoot everyone or like a specific group, or you'd have to give the people you want to target special components. It's they don't really have smart targeting in that sense.
Yeah.
That's all good. Just wanted to ask that.
Sweet. All right, and then Lapio.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, Yakuza. Unfortunately, I am going to have to. Oh yeah, no, already moved. Next up is Vanilla.
Yeah, sorry for breaking my vow of being silent, but I have one question. Question definitely regarding laws and how it should be role played. Because I remember there was a time when people were really sensitive and accusing each other when passengers, janitors, or any other civil works really have been helping security with searching any attacks. So, for example, if janitors spotted something, they were immediately reporting this. And I remember there was even special name for this. I don't recall what was
Are you
the
talking
name.
about valid hunting?
Yeah. Perhaps that was the name. And I'm just wondering whether in future you consider, for example, psionics not possible to work with security due to them basically being partially legal. I'm not sure how it's in canon, but definitely there is some antagonism, and there should be like this official registration. That's what is being called during some of the emergencies, right? So those are the two sub questions, but they are like both coming to one, and whether crew a part of security should be hunting for antacs.
So, as far as the question is about people who are not security hunting for antags.
Right.
Well, if you are to frame it as we have you're hunting for antags. That would be textbook valid hunting. Like you are as a role that isn't really like meant to be hunting for antags. You're hunting for them. Sorry, I'm playing Satisfactory. I haven't played this in a bit. Let me back out of this. So as far as like hunting for antagonists, the worry is that you want security to be doing this. If you're a janitor and you see like a cult or something, I don't know, like hypothetically, or you see some general antagony, like some trouble afoot. It's not your place to really like take them all on, put them in fucking improvised cuffs with LV wire or something. It's like you should let security know if they need your help. You can help them out, but it shouldn't be your job alone to take on these people and arrest them, bring them to wind them up to security or something like that. You're not really there to effect an arrest.
Yeah, but I'm more talking about interactive like things that people sometimes do. So for example, let's say people using telegnosis, like psionic powers, to scout the map, like constantly watch the whole map and watch for rats, etc., reporting it to security, or janitors looking for someone in mains, seeing someone like, I don't know, just doing something. All right, I'm just running to security because some guy took I don't know, wooden bat or some wood to craft something. Oh, it's suspicious. Let's report it already.
I hear what you're saying. I've even had an antag round a while ago back. I wouldn't say that it was ruined by a fucking guy who was a telenostic projection, but I was a trader, and there was a telenostic projection that was just going around, just being like, "Hey, he's over here! He's over here, guys! Guys, he's over by the bridge! He's fucking hacking in!" Like, dude,
yeah,
it's very lame. I'm trying to figure out in my heart, is this me just being upset with someone, with a player that's doing something that they can do, or is this just really stupid? And because that my gut reaction is like, this feels really stupid. Should a player be doing this?
Your mic's breaking up for me.
Oh, is it?
Not sure if it's just me, but I can barely hear you.
I can hear Colin fine.
Yeah, me too.
That's probably just my internet being bad.
All right.
My apologies.
I'll say this.
If it is mine.
I'll say this. I think people noticing crimes and reporting that to security is fine. Maybe going out as far as to specifically look out for those crimes. That's a bit more of a gray area, but
I had my first round back in the Nyano days. My first round as a syndicate was immediately ruined by a telegnostic projection just going around looking for crimes.
I mean, I'll admit, I'm kind of wondering if we should make it so telegnostic projection is just viewable by everyone and not psionics.
It is.
Yeah,
it is viewable
maybe,
by
but
everyone, ain't it? Like you,
no, it's
you
not. Only if
regularly
they get
see.
severed. No,
really?
you can only see them if you have psionic insulation, but I think that's broken right now too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so this is a bit of a problem with just telegnostic projection being pretty overpowered. It might be one of, if not the best, psionic abilities right now, just due to pure information advantage, just literal wall hacks. I'll say this. I think it's kind of, I think it's kind of fine.
I mean, there is counterplay to it in that you could wear psionic protection, and then you're just not visible
If it worked.
to it. So that doesn't even work.
No, insulation doesn't make you invisible to it. That's never been like that before.
No, installation would just let you see the projection.
Yeah, but sonic invisibility, like the whole system for it is just it's fucked. It never got done properly, and I think someone's trying to fix it, but I don't know.
And I guess I guess I should also say this. Sure, there is a chance that a random crew member who's using telegnosis will see you as a syndicate, but I would say there's also a chance that it's the detective who has telegnosis and has spotted you. And I think being spotted for that reason is fine. I think, however, security acting on that information as if it is totally true is not fine. They should catch. They should actually have evidence on you. Just a witness statement is never enough, especially because a syndicate member can lie and say that, "Oh, my target broke into the bridge and stole the captain's ID," and then security arrests them for the crime without even confirming anything. That's on security's fault.
I think to provide an admin answer to this, it's if there is a player that is using a telenostic projection and they're not security, they're just some guy, and they're just providing this information to like fucking everybody or something like that. Like, I think that's lame. I do think it is lame. I think it could certainly be construed as valid hunting in a way. Kinda. I mean, you're basically going after like just this guy. You could provide information to security. Like you could just be like, you can go up to security and be like, "Hey, I'm a psionic user. I watched this dude. You got to be. I understand maybe you're not able to take action against him off of this report alone, but you can do something like that." But I don't know. If you see something in which you feel that it's unfair or something like that, you are certainly able to help it. You're able to be like, "Hey, this I feel robbed of a round because this fucking guy, like, because I mean, you heard it here first. Like, at least a couple of us have had this encounter with someone using a psionic projection to just be like, he's over here, like, so it's lame. So
yeah. All right.
Also, if you do get telegnosis, all right, this is my final point. If you do get telegnosis and you want to do that, walk up to security, tell them you have telegnosis, and ask for a job.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I asked that because I had one round when basically one guy hunted the whole refs because obviously he could see flashes, he could see where there is a lot of people, and immediately he was able to track the head ref and just with help of security jail and kill the ref without even like solid reason. They forced the implant and then killed him. But yeah, I agree with some of the points that were made here. So let me just ask one last question. Is there any plans, for example, in future regarding canon to make psionic users some kind of users as in Warhammer? So like they're like enemy of the state unless they're like using. All right, I see you.
No, absolutely not. That would go too far in terms of lore, and even then, I mean, I don't have a veto power, so I'm the. No, we haven't even decided in the lore channel how we're going to implement the lore or who should make that type of decision. But I'm going to say this: making psionic users, we don't want to add like we've talked about speciesism and how we don't want that in our lore at all. From stuff from TG Station, I'm going to add psionics to that one. We're not going to mess with that type of thing. I don't think we could write. I don't think we could write it well. Nor do I think anything specifically about psionics like that should have to be written.
Gotcha.
And Nosford, good question. Just going to point that out. Leo is adding adding desk timers that sound like a gavel being hit.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it.
All right.
Next up is D London, and I know I said we were going to end the questions after London, but honestly, Yakuza hasn't asked a question yet, so I'll let them speak after D London.
Let's do this quick.
All right, yeah. Quick question. So, it's something I've seen happening quite a lot, where a round will start and you'll have several command members, and there's no captain, and command instantly decides that they have to elect a captain, which it's never quite sat right with me, and I just is there a clarification on what command should do in that sense? Because they always define it as, oh, we need to secure the disk, and then I will always argue, well, you do that in an emergency, right?
My opinion is wait. Like give it 10 minutes. If no
I
captain
Yeah.
arrives, you can put it to a vote.
I al-
Ideally, we should have the spare captain safe. Where like it gives a random command member a code for a safe, but we don't have safes or like the only reason the spare ID is in the captain's locker is because we don't have the spare safe system. We don't have safes at all. There's a way to make it work probably, but it's
Because
yeah,
generally,
it's
if
a whole
I'm
different problem.
because I'm by main command, I play commander a lot, chief medical officer, better personnel, all that. I've seen it where it's literally the first thing out of someone at the conference table's mouth is, okay, who's acting captain? I always I will always try and argue in character, hey, maybe they're late. Let's just wait 20 minutes or an emergency happens.
Yeah. So the danger says that it's SOP that they're following. However, if you look at
It's
SOP,
not.
it says if the CO dies and is unrecoverable, that's when the line of secession is at play. I agree with Debug in that you should don't fucking break down like the captain door or some shit like that to in like the
Yeah, I
first
think-
in the first few minutes. Like, oh
Yeah.
well, we ain't got one.
Because
I will add my
if
own
you
anecdotal
imagine-
evidence. I've played my 2 most recent rounds of command have had somebody get the fire axe off the wall within the first 30 seconds.
I really think
al-
that's gonna be happening. But
I have
in my opinion, we really do need the spare save system because there are rounds where no captain arrives for like half an hour. It doesn't happen often, but really there should be a way for them to get the key card for the captain without breaking down a whole fucking door.
Yeah.
Um,
If a situation comes up where there's no captain, you're waiting for a captain, but a situation has come up where a captain is needed. I don't know what situations would require would require a captain, but you know that if it comes up, then you can bust down the door to do
It's
it.
honestly, I think personally, at least, I don't know how anyone thinks of it, but how I think it should be, like, if there's no reason for a captain, just let it be for a bit. Like,
Yeah.
there's not gonna be any syndicate that's gonna be in the bridge like 5 minutes into the round. If it really
Yeah.
comes up like being a problem, just help it. Admin will probably unlock the locker for you, so you don't have to bust anything down.
So
thing I've
yeah.
seen-
Oh no, actually,
I-
I was about to let you speak. Sorry, go ahead.
I have late joined as captain 5-10 minutes into the round, and then I've had command. And then I'm immediately in an argument with command where I'm going, why are you breaking into my locker? And all that. And some cases I've had to argue with the person who became acting captain of no, I am the captain now. I'm going to demote you, and they're arguing back, which it's
Yeah,
always.
I really think we
that
should
has
make this a
happened-
rule. Colin.
that's
It's gonna be your call. But we really should not
That-
allow this.
That has happened a double-digit number of times.
I think it's I can do that. I can write out a rule about line of secession, as particularly in the start of a round where there isn't where there is not a captain present. We should also, like Debug was saying, we should have this. We should have this safe where you can access an emergency like captain ID should one not be present. I think it can like require like some approval of like a bunch of different heads or something like that. Is that right?
I'll also provide a standard operating procedure take on this, and maybe even add something standard operating procedure. And this is mostly from my own gameplay as somebody who was a command main for the longest time. There's
really think this should be a rule.
before before the rewrite of SOP, there was the soft rule, not even soft rule. There was a community thing of the difference between what is an acting commander and what is an actual command officer. And how should I say this? One of the important distinctions is that acting acting officers generally shouldn't be getting access to the offices, and that their role is simply there as administrative.
Which
If
is why I suggested
medical
the spare ID.
Yeah. So, no, not even that actually. So what I mean by this is that if you elect an acting captain because there is no captain, generally I don't think that person should even be getting the captain's access because their job at that point is mostly administrative. They should just be getting an engineer or the chief engineer to open the door non-destructively, maybe move the safe to the armory.
I just had
And
an
they do
idea for something that could be implemented, but I'll let you finish first.
and they should be moving the safe to probably the armory to secure the disc, but they shouldn't necessarily be giving themselves the captain's access since they are not the captain. Since they are not the captain, they shouldn't be gaining. They shouldn't be messing with the captain's things, as it were, except for what is strictly necessary. Similar way as if you were to promote a chemist to CMO, you wouldn't necessarily give them all the CMO's equipment. This was sort of a community understood thing for a long time, but it was never written into rules. It was never written into SOP because we were still running on because we were running on the old SOP. I may just add it to standard operating procedures, the definitions of the defined differences between an acting commander and an actual commander, and one of the dictations will be that acting commanders shouldn't have the access of the actual commander unless given to them by a higher authority. So acting CMO would need the captain's approval to actually gain access to the
Yeah,
CMO's
we're really
equipment.
just pointing on the obvious.
Yeah. And an acting captain has to receive permission from central command to get the captain's access.
So
Anyway,
just one more quick note on the matter. I've seen people continuously arguing that, oh, it should just automatically be the head of personnel that does it, which if I'm playing head of personnel, I'm playing head of personnel because I didn't want to be captain, and then I have all these other command staff trying to force the job onto me.
you can deny that. You can just say no. You should say no.
I do say no, and they're always like, "Oh, but I'm busy with this. I'm busy with this. You're not doing it." And I'm like, "Okay, I signed up as head of personnel, guys. Also, because obviously out of character, if I wanted to play captain, I would have chosen captain."
There, Alex, I should say, there is nothing in the line of secession that says that you can deny or decline the position that's voted. Like if everybody votes for if
Yeah,
every head
just
votes
quit.
for the
What are they
HOP
gonna do?
to do it, then yeah,
Oh,
there's nothing
well,
saying that they can decline it.
That's not how it should work at all. That should be rather obvious. You should be able to deny the position.
It's implied, especially considering that the alternative is just you get elected captain and immediately step down and quit. That's also
Yeah.
allowed. There's nothing in SOP stopping somebody from doing that.
I
Say,
really don't think we should force it on them. That's like, if you're gonna force it on people, they're just gonna leave. They're just gonna alter for the game. I wouldn't
Yeah.
blame them either. They wouldn't get any note for it from me.
Yeah, no.
Forcing it on
Yeah, no.
people, no.
I'm just saying it would be.
It should be implied that
Yeah,
that you can deny it.
However, well, it did immediately jump out to me that there's nothing saying that someone's. I'm just saying someone is definitely going to be like, no, we voted for you, so you have to go in that office, man. Then you'll be like, all right, I quit.
Anyways, the only thing I thought of that could like work in place of the save system, the majority of the stuff we need for a rudimentary version is already there. We could have an unobtainable access type, and just repurpose a locker to use that access type, and just randomly give a keycard for it to a command member if no captain's present round starts. That seems like the easiest solution. If you just unlock that locker, it's open forever, and you can only access the keycard by breaking an item that you can't undo. It'll be obvious you have the card.
I was just saying, you're talking about forcing it onto other staff. One thing I have said as head of personnel when the rest of command is doing it is, I've just gone, fine. If you want me to be the captain so bad, you do it. Why, if you want a captain so badly, why don't you do the job? You can't just make me do a job that I haven't signed up to do. It's like that's like going up to
Yeah, but it's not forcing you to do the job. It's just giving you a means of getting the. It's just giving a random command member a card to get the captain's key card non-destructively.
No,
It's not
just
telling you, oh, you have to be the captain. It's just giving you an item to get it.
I'm just back
I think
referring
we're all
to
on the same page.
Yeah, I was just back referring to people when it's other command staff trying to force me to take command. And
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
shouldn't be doing that
and
at
I'm
all.
like, my argument is always, if you want it so bad, you do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think
that's
we're all on the same page. then.
that's all I had because it's just something that happens a lot of shifts, and I'm tired of arguing with with my other command staff about it. Okay, that's everything.
All right.
All right. And so last person now. Welcome Yakuza.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to try to keep it short. So, a change that Wisden has made recently is removing miners on a lot of the maps. And I've saw in one of the PRs that I think either Edge or Tortuga was going to remove the plasma miner for Atmos.
Mhm.
What is the, I don't know, I guess the timeline for those kind of map Atmos changes look like, if there is one at all that's formalized?
We're talking about it, but there's nothing I can say about it just yet.
Okay, that was all. Thank you.
I mean,
All right.
as far
cheers.
as like removing plasma miners, we like I know that upstream.
Yeah, it's something I'm talking about with Velcro right now still, so it's nothing final yet.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, as far as my maps, like Edge, well, Astris doesn't have a plasma miner, but I mean, I'm willing to remove it. Like, I don't really care. I mean, they can order the plasma canisters, and I know that a lot of people are like, oh, well, I like making tritium and everything, but the present circumstances in regards to Atmos are silly. So I assume this is just something that's going to take a bit of time.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. I think that's it then. Do any of y'all have any final remarks before I end the meeting?
I don't.
Sorry, I was sleeping and I came in late. I forgot.
Yeah, we figured. We were planning on doing it without you, just so you know. But you arrived.
Yeah. I have.
Leo, do you have anything?
I'm barely awake.
All right. With that, I'm going to call the meeting to an end now. Honestly, just to give a quick recap, we're adding a justice department. There's work being done on some glimmer creatures. There's some minor SOP changes coming along due to the addition of the listening post, which is a pretty neat new mid-round and tag. And oh yeah, and we're also discussing lore, but that's a really, really minor thing. I think that's it. Also, congratulations congratulations to us for having for being able to hit max population cap on our main server for
Yeah,
several
just
days, if
FYI.
not for a week in a row.
We're still at 116 players currently, combined
Fucking
over
hell.
2 servers.
I'm patting myself
Fucking
on the back
hell.
right now.
And as
116, not 60. 16.
and as we did in the start of this meeting as well, let us give another moment of silence those poor hamsters who have been powering our servers during this tumultuous and busy time.
But I think that's everything for this meeting. Well, should be everything.
All right. See y'all next month when surgery gets added.
Nice.
Left.